Battlefield 4 on PlayStation 3 is officially dead. What's up, guys? Wildchill here. That's right. The servers are no longer available for PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 are still up and running. They're good. It's just the PlayStation 3 version of Battlefield 4, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of nostalgic because if you owned a PS3 at some point in your life, you remember that online gameplay was free, and that was a really good thing to have, in my opinion. Friends of mine, well, pretty much all of them, they owned Xbox, and I was like, why would you get an Xbox? You have to pay, you know, yearly subscription for online. PS3 is free. So other people own the PlayStation 3 because of the Blu-ray. They wanted to have, obviously, to the console and the Blu-ray thing. So it's good days. The good old days where maybe things were a little bit different. Maybe life was different, simpler. So it's just fun, and like I said, nostalgia, going back to some of these old games and just replay it and remember what we liked and disliked. We're back in these games where on console you cannot change your FOV, and it was a little kind of weird if you, after playing over 90 or 100 or 120 FOV, now you go back to the old school games. It's like, man, I can't see anything. It just feels so weird. But back then, if you didn't change it, it just felt normal. So it's like you start noticing these things that, man, I don't know how I did that back in the day. Or going back to 720p, it's like a lot of pixels, and it's just blurry. Now we get 4K and 1440p, and it looks beautiful and looks nice and plays smoother, and you can see the transition, from games and over the years, and how, for good or for bad, because Battlefield 2042, looks nice and everything, but it didn't play well, in my opinion. It wasn't like, that good. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that good. So you see the transitions, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and man, you get to relive those memories when you go back to these old games. So it's pretty fun. Like I said, going back to these, the sounds is always amazing. In Battlefield, any Battlefield game has a great sound. So but once again, it's sad. So Battlefield 4 and Hardline also, Hardline, there's no servers for Hardline as well on PS3. And I guess at some point, it needed to come to an end. That's as expected. And obviously, people owning PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 now, and the new Xbox as well. So it's time to move on, and these consoles really has nothing to do because nobody really wants to play it. People wants to get the newer ones, but we just, like, people like myself, you just save them, and sometimes you just go back to these old games and just bring some content in, and it's nice. So I don't know if you play Battlefield 4 on PlayStation 3 or the Xbox. I don't know if your experience was good or not. If you did, just leave in the comments below. What you remember, the good and the bad, the ugly. But it was fun times. Fun times. Battlefield is always fun. Can be frustrated, but I enjoyed the Battlefield experience. It's always good. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 is pretty fun, and it's just, I think, and I hope it just hopefully keeps getting better. 2042 was a little gamble right there. They tried to bring something different, and I think too many changes, or trying to make things bigger. Maybe it's not the answer. So most of the times. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope they go back to this formula from what we saw on the trailer for the newer Battlefield. What we're gonna call it, Battlefield 2025. Let's call it like that for now because we don't know anything about it yet, or at least at the moment this commentary. It looks almost like this one, like it's got the Battlefield 4 feel, Battlefield 3 feel, and that's great because I think we can all agree that's when Battlefield. Although I do enjoy Battlefield 5. I'm gonna have to. I know some of you guys hate it, but I've been playing that game since it came out, and I just don't get bored. Really, I mean, I wish we had more maps and more guns because that makes things more interesting. But I really do enjoy the gameplay and gunplay mechanics in that game, and that's why I keep playing the game. And so it reminds me, going back to these old games where I play a lot of Battlefield 4, and it was so much fun to play this game. Like once again, you don't get tired of the game. It's like it's always fun. You always maybe you just have silly gun or a silly loadout, or I don't know, do something different, and you manage to have fun, And I think Battlefield 5 allows you to do that. It's still fun, good gameplay, good gunplay mechanics, good maps. But we can all agree that the peak of Battlefield was Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. They were like really, really amazing games they were not perfect, but they really defined the franchise. And throughout the years, we tend to go back to, hey, I wish it was more like Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. It's always just these two games that we mentioned, is 3 and 4. And it's for a reason. They did a great job. Destruction, sounds, map design, the amount of weapons, the DLC stuff, it was fun having the DLC. The live service thing, I'm not a big fan of it. I am not a big fan of the live service. I know it sounds fun and whatnot, but I don't know. When it was the DLC thing, Battlefield 4, man, did a great, and it was fun having all that content every 3-4 months or so. And it was a decent content. It was a decent content. For example, when Battlefield Bad Company 2 got the Vietnam DLC, which is a game within a game, that's just pretty amazing too. So, those like old school games. I forgot to mention Battlefield Bad Company 2. That's the peak of Battlefield. When they did all these things and make them what they are now. It's like a giant franchises, and we all expect the best of the best. It's because what they have done in the past. So I hope they can maybe replicate what they did back in the day, and just keep the franchise alive. I mean, it's not gonna die anytime soon. This franchise, but like better, because 2042 is, like I said, a disappointment. It was just like it didn't have a soul. It was not fun. It was not terrible, but it was not fun. So I hope it goes back to these. And Hardline, I did play a little bit of Hardline, posted some gameplays of Hardline. It was fun. I really didn't get into it. The whole cops and robbers thing, it was not my thing for some reason. But I did enjoy some of the maps and the weapons and stuff. It was okay. It was okay. I don't know if it's better or worse than 2042. That's a tough question. Maybe you can answer for me. But it was not quite there, but it has some really good things. So, but hopefully they go back to this sort of formula, and we get to enjoy these games. But once again, even if you watch this, or even if you play this, even if you play the Battlefield, the PS4, I'm sorry, the PS4 version, Battlefield 4, you just go back in time, and you just remember, like I said, all these things, the good, bad, the ugly, the funny moments, and everything that we endure, or maybe in my case, as I was learning how to play Battlefield. I was more like Call of Duty little kid. So I was learning how to play Battlefield, so it was a learning experience for me. Trying to learn, like to handle bigger maps and recoil, and like all these guns. I mentioned here the Saiga 12. I think I started with the MP5, I think, but it didn't feel like an MP5 sort of map. Close quarters, everything is chaotic, close range. Sort of situation. So I think shotgun was the best option, and I think I nailed it, because we ended up having a decent game, good game. So with the shotgun, so running and gunning, getting some objectives. So I really do miss this map design. I hope it comes back. Battlefield 5, got it really good too. It was a good map design. It was awesome. But Battlefield 4 had really, really good maps, and it was really fun to play these like infantry only maps, which I love. Like I really miss the Squad Conquest. Squad Conquest was really good, and that's what I was playing the most in Battlefield 5 until they removed it. I enjoyed it. Sometimes you just wanna capture objectives and have like shorter gameplays. Sometimes you don't want to deal with vehicles. So it's good to have a bit of everything. But Battlefield 4 still man, one of the greats, with the rough start. This game had a rough start, man. It was almost unplayable. Anyone who remember this, it's just, oh man, it was rough. It was rough, this game. They fixed it and it became a beast, and we still remember this game for the good and the bad. So let's hope things get better with Battlefield. Let's hope the newer games are awesome. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad they're not having this on PS3, But like I said, at some point you just kind of move on, and then you don't think about it anymore. And that's the way life goes. You gotta move on, and you just do it. But from time to time, you remember, just remember these, how things started when you were a newbie, when you were good, when you were, all these things comes to mind, and you feel a little nostalgic. But nonetheless, even with all the let's say fails that this game launched with, and all the bad situations that we had at the beginning, we love Battlefield 5. We have or at least I have a really good memories of the game afterwards, and it's just pretty amazing, But I hope your eyes are okay, because 720p sometimes is hard to watch, especially if you watch 1440 and 4K videos. Then you go back to 720, it's like, what am I watching? What is this thing? But it's the good old days, man, when that was the best of the best. That was the that was the. I mean, you can always like rescale it to 1080. I don't think it looks the same. I don't think it looks great, but it could. But I'm just gonna leave it. I don't even know. Maybe I'll do upscale the game a little bit in 1080, see if it looks better, because it looks a little weird on 720. I don't know. I'm not used to it. We don't watch 720 stuff anymore. But anyways, so yeah, this game is fantastic, and it's just that in the console. So I don't know if you guys still own your PS3s on your Xbox. Maybe you have it somewhere on a shelf. You say, I don't know, it's like a trophy sort of thing, I do still have mine, and it's somewhere in a box, and it was the good old days. Like I said, free multiplayer. It's a good thing, or it was a good thing. But things change now. We have to pay for online gameplay, just like Xbox. So we're all the same. there's no there's not a huge advantage. I know people just like to fight or complain over which one's better. At this point it's kind of all the same. We pay for online, we get some first party games, and the other one doesn't get it, and PC gets it all, and it's just all good. Gaming is fantastic. It's an amazing hobby, really. It's pretty fun. So, well, the game is coming to an end. Hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. Battlefield 4 I was gonna say please. PS3 version in 2025, 720p, maybe 1080. We'll see how it looks. It's good, but we cannot play this on PS3. So if you have the game on that console, then just only for campaign. Other than that, doesn't do much. But at this point, we should be getting this on the newer consoles or PC, and then getting rid of all the OG. But you can get rid of the OG, because that's what the OG is. You can kill it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. My name is Walcha. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you guys on the next video. Alright, later.